good? So Antonio Bandanaz, a son of the crew Alpha P, Project Mayhem, Universal Zulu Nation, Twisted Zulu, Seattle Chapter, Hip Hop Congress, and just a long time staple of the Central District here in Seattle. You know what I'm saying? On some hip hop. I've been MCing. I don't know. I'd say about 17 years now. Selling the music that I actually produce. So yeah, a lot of people would call me OG, a young OG in my time. And hip hop is basically community in action to me. So I thought it would be best to like work with as many different types of people and as many people as I could on one project.
So with that being said, who are you as Bandanaz as far as the artist, and what do you bring to hip hop?
Well, so Antonio Bandanaz is basically a professional culmination of my intelligence and my community upbringing, you know, from the Central District and the South End. It's basically a way for me to take all of these different attributes that I have in myself and put them in a forefront as opposed to just being an MC going by my regular name all the time and then having people mess up a four-letter name. You know what I mean? Because my name is A-Son, but like people started putting Ansu and ASON and all these other random names on flyers and stuff, and I was like, dude, my MC name has been Mad One for years. So I had to step it up again and reinvent myself, and it just became Santonio Bandanaz. You know, I was chilling in the studio with my dude John, and we were doing some less than reputable things in the studio at that time. And he was like, man, come on, Santonio Bandanaz. I was like, no, Bandanaz. And, you know, I thought it was more of a representation of who I was as an individual. And that being said, you know, it's not about one hood, it's about every brother and sister in every hood who's going through the same things, you know, suffering from the similar ailments. So, yeah, it's just a way for me to let people know that people that come from the hood are not all ignorant. You don't have to play that role, you know what I'm saying, to get on because of that. And, you know, as time passed and I developed artistically and more as an individual person, I just started working with people from all different parts of the world, different countries, different continents, and like really just becoming more evolved and involved in the global hip hop community. So that's, you know, what I bring to hip hop is basically, you know, a strong sense of myself, you know, character building, community building, and many different forms of style, many different styles.
That being said, what made you like seriously start pursuing it? And then what is your take on like the whole underground music movement and the Northwest hip hop scene?
Well, basically, I'm from a boxer military family background, and you know, to keep me out of trouble, my dad tried to put me in the boxing programs and things like that, so I wouldn't be acting a fool at school, things like that, giving me more discipline. And as you know, as I did well in my boxing career and things like that, I didn't want people to come at me sideways, you know, because I'm not a big dude, you know. And in my weight division, there was like hundreds and hundreds of cats in every state I went to, you know, as opposed to being heavyweight and there's only like 4 or 5 cats that are worthy of even fighting. So I wanted people to actually respect me for what I had in my head as opposed to what I could do with my hands, you know. So that really made me like buckle down and seriously realize that choosing to continue to make music was a lifetime choice. I'm not trying to just be on shits and giggles, you know. I'm trying to institute some change positively, and like just like my elders passed the torch to me, you know, and told me it was okay to be who I was, I want to give other kids who are younger than me the same type of opportunity, trying to stimulate their growth mentally and artistically, you know what I'm saying, so that they know that they don't have to follow everybody else's path. They can do whatever they want to do, you know, within the confines of respect.
Right.
As far as Northwest is concerned, you know, we have a real couple of definitive styles, different from everywhere else, you know what I'm saying? But we also soak up game from everywhere else, just like any place, you know? I think that realistically, like the only way to do it is together, you know? So, I don't know, I guess it would be like if it was a store, a clothing store, you know? Everybody is not going to come to your store if you're only selling one type of shirt. You know what I'm saying? So you have to have a lot of different formats and a lot of different styles for everybody to get involved with it. So it does take everybody, and it will, I think. There's such a big culmination of all of these different backgrounds and people using their voices, speaking against and for their communities that they represent, that it's a little something different, you know.
Right.
It, I can almost equivalent it to like the whole five borough thing, you know. Each little borough had a specific cat at one point in time who was their top dude, you know, or their
Right.
top lady, and that's one thing that I can say honestly about Seattle is that every culture that is represented, like on a majority basis, has some sort of representative. Depending on the age group, depending on what exactly their style of music or creativity is, like, yeah, there's a little something for everybody here. So